Well, hello, beloved. It's me, Coach Carmen, the Kingdom Health, Purpose, and Wealth Coach, and founder of SharingTheBliss.com. As you can see, I'm in the kitchen. Yes, I'm in the kitchen, and I am going to show you how I prepare one of my favorite soups, and it is lentil with barley. This is organic vegan. And, you know, back in the day, I used to always make my soups with some type of starter, some type of bouillon cube or something. I thought I could never make soup tasty without bouillon cubes. But that is not true. You can actually make a delicious stock for your soup by preparing it the way I'm going to show you. So, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and one of the things that I'm going to be serving is the first dish is going to be actually a soup. It's going to be this soup. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I have here are some cut up onions. I actually have sweet white onions as well as some red onions mixed in here. And I would say this is about a full cup of onions. And one of the reasons why I use so many onions is because, to me, I call the onions my flavor soldiers. Like, they just little soldiers that get filled with flavor. They soak up so much flavor, and they actually pretty much disappear in your soup once they're cooked down. So you're not getting chunks of onion. As you can see, they were pretty small, the pieces that I cut up, and I did that purposely so that I don't have big chunks of onions. So they melt down and they get filled with flavor. So another important, vital ingredient in a soup base, bay leaves. Bay leaves. So you really want to have bay leaves in your soup. So here I have like 2 big bay leaves and a small bay leaf. So you can see I'm using a lot of bay leaves. But I love bay leaves. They're very important for getting the flavor in your soup. So the next must-have are your garlic. We have the onions, now the garlic is the next must-have. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a garlic masher, so I'll just use my grater and go in there, and I'll just grate these right quick. I can actually do them over the pot. Maybe that's what I'll do. And yeah, so I think if you're making a soup for a dinner, you really want to have that done the day before. I find that soups tend to really come alive. The flavors just, they peak after the next day, right? So you don't want to make your soup the day of, or even the morning of. You want to make your soup like the day before. I find that to be a good amount of time. That 24 hours makes a wonderful difference. Oops, I just dropped my garlic in there. You see I'm using a lot of garlic too. And again, you want to amp up these flavors because you're not using any concentrated MSG type of starter, right? This is all natural and of course all organic. So you want to add more than you would normally think you would need, because this has to be absolutely delicious, right? Of course, totally. Okay, so the next thing is my nutritional yeast, and I'm going to put like a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. You can even put a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast if you want. And I may end up making that a 1/2 cup because I'm making a lot of soup here. This is not my usual amount of soup. This is quite a bit of soup. so I may end up adding more. Now, surprise, this is actually one of the spices that you would not expect. It is curry. And the reason why I'm adding curry powder, and I'm only using like a teaspoon of curry powder, is because the curry actually is an ingredient that can mimic a chicken broth. If you don't put too much, you don't want it to taste like curry, but when it's blended in with the other spices, it actually gives you like a chicken type of flavor. This is my basil, one of my favorite herbs. Right, and then I have some rosemary. I'm just going to minimize this a little bit. Over here. This is some rosemary, and what I like to do is crush the rosemary. Make sure that the flavors really open up. And put that in there. Then, of course, I have some cracked black pepper, and we crack our pepper ourselves. So that pepper was actually peppercorns that we put in the NutriBullet, and voila, we have fresh ground pepper, which is amazing. So this is some garlic powder, and I would say, especially for this amount of soup, I'm putting like 2 tablespoons. Good amount of garlic powder. So this is my garlic. That was garlic. This is onion powder. Same thing, about 2 tablespoons of onion powder. And I'm actually putting sage in here. Again, sage gives you that flavor of chicken, right? Chicken broth. So this is about a little less than about a teaspoon of sage. And these are celery seeds. You can put just a little bit of celery seeds in here. And you can actually cut up celery and put celery in your soup stock. I didn't do that today, but that's a good thing to do. You can also add some grated carrots. And I'm going to do that towards the end because I want it to look really pretty with little sprinklings of the orange coming from the carrots. It's going to look really pretty. But so if I put it in there now, they're going to cook down and you won't really see them. The other ingredient I did not add that I usually add, and I'm going to add today. These are cardamom seeds. Now, cardamom is just such a beautiful spice. It smells heavenly, and even though it does give you the feeling of preparing like an Indian dish, again, because we want this to be super flavorful, you want to add some unusual spices. Just have to know how to use them. So I'm actually going to add, I dropped one of my seeds got away, so let me just crack this one. So I just crack it just to open up, and you'll see the little seeds, the seed pods in there, the seeds inside of the pod. Right? Yeah. So I'll put that in the soup. And yeah. So that's our soup starter. Okay, so actually, let me just add the liquid aminos in here now, because to me, you really, really need the liquid aminos to give it that depth of flavor. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 good squirts. And another thing you can add to your soup, which really adds to the flavor, makes it rich and really good for you, is miso. So you want to use like a dark miso. And what you do with the miso, because you don't want to cook the miso, it has a lot of living enzymes and all kinds of good things for your gut in miso, right? So what you want to do is go on and mix it with water, the miso, break it down with water, and then at the end, when you're just about finished making your soup, you put the miso in there, and it adds a beautiful flavor. So, let's see, I have about, how much here? Of course, you know, I'm not good with measuring. But let's count it out. Let's see. Okay, so that's 1 cup. Mm-hmm. 2 cups. 3 cups. You know, when you're making Thanksgiving dinner, you want to make sure you have enough for people to take home if they like. So, 4 cups. Wow. All right. So, we got 4 and counting. What is this? Looks like this is going to be about a ½ cup. Exactly. All right, 4½ cups. So, if you have 4½ cups of lentils, then you want to have 3 times as much water at least. And I think I pretty much have that here. Right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is stir this up, and then just close the pot and let it do its thing. Alright. Alright, I want to get a good angle in here so you can actually see. And another thing I did not add yet is my sweet. You definitely want to add some kind of sweet to your soup. So I probably will use some organic maple syrup. So I'll add some maple syrup. And, you know, we're talking maybe 2 tablespoons to do it. Awesome. All right. I'll just stir this up. And you're going to give this several hours. I'd say you probably won't have to look at this again for 2 hours. So you turn it down to medium-low, and you should be good to go. So I'm going to turn this down to medium-low. For me, that's a 2. Actually, maybe a little higher than 2. For me, that would be a 3. Okay? Now, as you notice, I did not put my barley in there yet. Why? Can you guess why? That's right, because you don't want the barley to get too cooked. It cooks faster than the lentil. They cook faster than the lentils. So you don't want to put them in now. So I probably will not put the barley in for another 3 hours. Then I'll put the barley in and it will catch up with the lentils. And this way I don't have mushy barley, right? They'll be still nice and chewy. All right, so I'm going to close this up. And I'll get back to you soon. Okay. Okay, so it has actually just been an hour. So these lentils are cooking pretty fast. And I forgot that lentils really don't take as long as some of the other legumes. So you can see a roux is starting. It's nowhere near as thick and brothy. You know, it's more of a broth right now. It's not as thick and roux-y as it's going to be. But actually the beans, the legumes are softened enough to eat, believe it or not, which means that it is definitely time for us to add in the lentils. So I'm going to add in these lentils. So it's definitely time for us to add in the barley. So we're going to add in the barley, because the barley is going to help thicken this and make it more of a nice texture where it's velvety and beautiful. And the lentils actually they don't swell up, but the barley does. They do. So the barley swells up, but the lentils break down. So you can see the lentils are breaking down and the barley is going to swell up. So just want to see if I have enough barley here just by eyeballing it. I'm going to make a lot of soup. So I'm going to use all this barley. And I think that this is about 3 cups of barley. Okay, so it's a little less barley than lentil. And that's good because you want more lentil than barley. As you can see. Now, I'm going to give this another hour. And after that, I can determine better how I want to season it. Like what else do I have to do to this to make it absolutely amazing. So I did taste it and it wasn't bad, but it's definitely going to need some support. So I'm probably going to add, you know what, let me just go on and do that now. I know I'm going to do this, so I might as well just do it now. I'm going to go on and add, what I need to kick this thing up. Alright, it's not looking that great right now, but believe me, it's going to be awesome when it's ready. So this is my nutritional yeast. And I usually buy this by the bulk, but Stop and Shop has it like this, and I really enjoy the sprinkling effect of this. So, and actually, because I'm using a lot, I can just go on and open this side and just let her pour. Remember earlier I said that I could have used a 1/2 cup, so this is going to bring it up to a 1/2 cup. Right, so the nutritional yeast, this is not the yeast that you use to make bread. This is filled with B vitamins, including vitamin 12, which is great for vegans and vegetarians. And you can see how this is starting to look a little thicker already. Now, what's nice about the barley, as I said, when it breaks down, is going to really give more texture to the soup because of the starch in the barley. So I'm going to add some more liquid aminos. 1, 2, 3. And pretty much that's it right now. Those 2 extra ingredients I'm going to add, I think should do it. Okay, I could feel the spoon getting harder to stir, which is telling me the soup is getting thicker. Okay, so I could actually add some water to this if I want to, because ultimately I'm going to have to anyway. So go on and add some water, just a little bit, just so it doesn't get too thick and start to scorch the bottom of the pan. You don't want the bottom of the pan to scorch, especially if you're going to be cooking it for a while longer. So I'm just going to add some more water. Stir this up. Give it another hour. Alright, see you in a few. Alright, so that 1 hour did the trick for sure. Show you what we have here. See how thick it is. Super thick. And what's nice about making the soup like this will practically double. Alright, so the amount of soup that's in this soup pot right here By the time it thickens more in the refrigerator as it cools, I'll be able to double this by adding more water because it's going to be too thick. Like right now it's definitely already too thick for soup. It's more of a chowder, right? Well, like a super thick soup. So now what I'm going to do is add my grated carrots in here. Grated organic carrots. And this is going to add a little color. And what I'll probably do tomorrow is go on and just like make ribbons of spinach, just to add a little green into this. I like to have a little green, a little color, right? So then we'll have the orange and then we'll have some green, and that's going to make it really pretty. Okay, so this I'm not going to cook anymore. Right now this is good to go for tomorrow. I just want it to cool, then I'll refrigerate it. And then tomorrow it will be concentrated and I can just add water to it, heat it up, add the spinach in there, just enough to give it some extra color, and that's it. So let me just show you. This is, again, it's really super thick. Let me add some water to this so you can have a better idea of the texture of this. It should be. And even this could be a little thinner, but this is fine. Okay, so I just want to show you this in the bowl. I want to taste it with you. A giant spoon. Okay, so you can see how hearty this is. Very, very hearty and pretty. And as I said, the greens in there is going to make it even prettier. Okay, so let's taste this. Whew, nice and hot. Very good. Very good. What I would do is I will add some more brag. I'll probably add a little more. I'm going to add some brag to this. This will kill that bottle. I'm going to add a little more maple. Because now we're taking it up to the nth degree. So this is absolutely divine. So I added about two more tablespoons of maple. And now I'm going to add a little more of some of my spices. So basically adding some more garlic powder. Let me get the rest of the spices. Garlic powder. I'm going to add some more onion powder, and then I'm also going to add more black pepper. This is where you really have to taste and see. You want to taste and make sure it's right. I have my food dehydrator going. Actually dehydrating some plantains to have some little snacky snacks. It's nice to have some snacks, savory and sweet. I'm also adding some more salt. This is a lot of soup, so it can handle all of this extra spice and flavor. Okay, so add some more pepper. Alright, and stir this up. Now, keep in mind, you wouldn't put the carrots in here without the carrots cooking some, but because this is going to be heated up and cooked a little more as it heats up, I'm not bothering to cook it anymore with the. I don't have to worry about the carrots being cooked right now. They'll be cooked tomorrow when I heat this up, because it doesn't take much to cook carrots, especially cut fine like this, right? Yeah. So, stir this up nice. And this should be more to my satisfaction. Let me taste it. Yes, you know, I am a food snob. Proud of it. And you know what? My family, friends, and clients, they all love me for it. Awesome. Let's taste this now. Perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. It needed that extra little oomph. Yeah. That's what Mama's talking about. All right. Okay, so this is it. This is the first entree of my organic vegan Thanksgiving dinner, the soup. And the next thing I'm going to be making, I'm going to put some sweet potatoes in the oven for my yam bam, and some sweet potato treats. And then I'm going to make my brown rice so that I can have that cooling in the refrigerator. And tomorrow I'm going to make my beautiful rainbow rice. I'm also doing some plain white organic basmati rice. And I'll tell you the rest a little later. Okay? Alright. Talk to you soon. Hope you enjoy this. Bye-bye.